Hello and welcome to a noobreview.com quick look video. Today I'm joined by Adam Radcliffe.
Hello.
And we are looking at the cold stream downloadable content for Left 4 Dead 2.
This looks very interesting. It's a completely new environment.
That's right, it is. In fact, the interesting thing about this piece of downloadable content is that the cold stream campaign that comes with it was not made by Valve. It was made by the Valve community.
Wow. I did not know that, and I'm very impressed. Like, it's hard not to be impressed by anything that's not Valve related. They can't do no wrong.
Yeah, it's been made with their level creation tools, and I can't remember the exact specifics because this was about a year and a half ago that they first announced that this would be coming out to PC and Xbox 360 as an official release. But basically, it was a custom created level.
I'm guessing it doesn't continue the story in any way then, if it's community created, because they wouldn't have. I don't know if they would have written their own script as well.
To be honest, it hasn't, and that's actually my biggest disappointment with this, is that there's so little in terms of like original dialogue and original graffiti. Just checking the toilet there, checking there's no zombies in there.
You never know.
Yeah. But, you know, when you play the other Left 4 Dead campaigns, a lot of the game's narrative is told either through like the incidental dialogue between the survivors or through the graffiti on the walls.
And events that happen around you as well.
Yeah, exactly. But there's hardly any of that in this, which, you know, it's not
just
a major deal.
Lots of zombie shooting action, which never seems to get old. You can always milk it. You want to make some money. Make a zombie game. Especially if it's Left 4 Dead concerned.
I'll tell you what, actually, one of the things about this is that it has got dozens and dozens of moments where you just get massively overwhelmed by hundreds of zombies all at once. We'll have a look at some of those in a minute.
They've just made it a bit more challenging then.
Yes, exactly. It is a lot more challenging. Even on easy, I actually died at least once.
On easy?
This, which is unusual.
Oh my God.
Which is actually unusual for me because I used to think I was good at Left 4 Dead. Then I died on this on easy and thought, you know what, maybe I just suck and didn't realise it.
Oh, here they come.
Well, yes, this is the first major choke point where you've got to make your way through these, basically I think through the sewers. Or through a drainage pipe here, but as you can see, there are dozens of them charging towards you. Now, at this point, you know, you could keep using your guns, but you're better off using the melee weapons.
My favourite melee weapon is the crowbar. I don't know about you. My favourite gun, grenade launcher with explosive ammo. Just to buff the explosives a little bit.
Yep, where they just, like, cover it in gunpowder.
Are there any new features that, like, haven't been included in the normal game?
No, not really. Although one thing that has come about with the update that was released to go along with this DLC is the mutations. Are you aware of the mutation?
I'm aware of the
multiplayer?
mutations, yeah.
For anyone that isn't, they're basically like game modifiers. For instance, there's one game mode where you have to protect a garden gnome and carry it with you to safety throughout the whole level. And that's the way you win, by protecting the garden gnome. And another one, everyone's just armed with chainsaws. Now, the way the mutations used to work is that there would be one new one a week, and you had no say in what it was, pretty much, apart from the odd vote on the Left 4 Dead blog. Well, now they've given you the option to manually select which mutation you want, whenever you want.
That's very interesting. I can imagine there being a lot of hilarity.
Indeed. I'll tell you what, it's just massively upped the replayability of this game because now, you know, there's like 30 or 40 different modes you could play.
And it's always entertaining as well because you never know what's going to happen in Left 4 Dead.
That's right. All the enemies are randomly generated, aren't they? So it's never exactly the same twice.
And depending on who you've got with you, it's always something different's always going to happen.
Exactly, yes.
Is there a finale at the end of this DLC, just like in the others? That's the big set piece at the end.
Yes, there is, but to be honest, I thought it was a little bit, well, not weak. It's just not as strong as the others. In fact, we're going to look at it now.
Here we go.
You have to run north to get to an abandoned survivor camp where a helicopter's waiting to pick you up.
Oh, get to the shopper scenario.
That's exactly it. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Yep, that's exactly it. And I'll tell you what, one thing I didn't mention about this Coldstream DLC, which is actually quite important, is that it also comes with all of the remaining maps from Left 4 Dead 1.
Oh, right, so you can play all the Left 4 Dead 1 maps in Left 4 Dead 2.
That's right, with spitters and jockeys and chargers and melee weapons and grenade launchers and...
All of a sudden, this seems a lot more worth it now.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's free on PC, but it does cost money on Xbox 360. It's
Obviously.
560 Microsoft points, which in English money, that's about £4.50, something like that, maybe. It's less than a fiver, basically. But I think it's definitely worth it, considering all of the extra maps you get. I mean, there's 5 in total.
It is if you're... Well, I think if you're a big fan of the series, but also if you're a newcomer, if you never played it before, I don't know why somebody wouldn't have by now, but that's a great way to get, like, a lot of extra content. That's very affordable.
Yeah, and if you think about it, other games, I'm not going to name any, but, you know, they charge 1,600 Microsoft points for 4 maps.
Yeah.
That you use in the online multiplayer. Well, these maps can be used, obviously, in the co-op campaign. They can be used in the versus mode, the scavenger mode, all of the mutation modes. It's just ridiculous, really. There's so much content. And, you know, it does have some shortcomings, like I mentioned earlier. It doesn't have that same sort of Valve polish.
Yeah.
And there's not as much narrative content in there, which is a disappointment. But when you consider how much stuff you're getting, it's completely worth it, in my opinion. And it's very hard to fault them.
The big moment now.
Yes, this is it. One of the things I liked about Left 4 Dead 2 is that these massive crescendo moments at the end basically shifted the whole kind of premise of the game. It's not about knuckling down and trying to defend yourself. It's about, you know what, we've got to run, we've got to leg it, we've got to get out of here quick, because if we
what are we doing
standing
around trying to shoot someone?
But yes, full team survival here, I think.
Excellent.
Well, basically that's been Left 4 Dead 2's Coldstream DLC. Little glitch there, love it. It's available to download right now on Steam for free, and you can buy it on Xbox 360 for 560 Microsoft points. Head over to noobreview.com to read our full review. It should be live now.
Thank you for playing. Presented by
Noob Review.